All right, finally back here out on the ocean, Bodega Bay. It's day after Thanksgiving. It's been 3 weeks since I've been out here. We've had some bad weather, creating some swells, that I can't go out in my boat. So decided to get out here. I was gonna go with Danny, but his car wouldn't start this morning, and so then I was like, oh, am I gonna go? Am I not? And I was like, okay, let's start raking leaves and doing stuff like that. We're going fishing, so it's a little past 11 right now. I'm gonna go drop 4 crab pots and try and do some rock fishing. I want to remind everyone that I'm doing a giveaway, 2 crab snares. If you're interested in that, please check out my last video. You'll find the details in there. I'm doing some crab snaring. You can use those out here along the jetty. That's what everyone's doing out here. Also the spot over here. You yourself can catch Dungeness crab. It's really easy. All you need is just a a heavier fishing pole. Doesn't need to be special of any kind. You just cast it out with your bait, let it sit there, and then reel it in. So if you're interested in winning those snares, check out that video. All right, so generally for bait, I use fish head carcasses that I've caught. This is a sturgeon. Caught it in the bay last spring. So we're gonna go ahead and use this today. And I'm gonna pair it with some ghost shrimp, what you use to catch them. So, never done that before. Hey! Shh, knock it off. Man, you're annoying. I'm trying to make a video here. All right, thank you. So I'm not saying I would recommend this. Well, we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, sturgeon and ghost shrimp. So there's the ghost shrimp. Should we give them 1 just to mess with them? Okay, here you guys go. Here's 1. All right, I don't see any other pots around. So we'll go ahead and put it here. Pretty close to the opening where the jetty is right there. 55 feet of water. So in this one I'm doing anchovies and salmon head. I cut up the anchovies. I feel like it might just get the scent going on a little bit more than a vicious whole. So I don't know if it makes it work better or not, but that's what I do. Okay, so we got the 4 pots in the water, 55 feet, 75 feet, 155 feet, and 160 feet. So 2 are kind of like inside Bodega Bay there, and then 2 are outside. Basically, there's like a reef, a bunch of rocks in the middle that kind of divide the inside outside. So got pots on either side of that, and now we're gonna hit those rocks and go try and catch some lingcod. So when I'm rock fishing, I'm pretty much just going for lingcod. That's what I'm after. I'll use a rig like this. How it comes is it has 2 of these attached to it, rockfish rig they'll call it. I'll cut the bottom one off and then attach. I generally use a 6-ounce jig head, and then I'll put on a swim bait. You'll see I always use this one. It always works for me. Just find which one works for you and just use that one over and over. That's kind of what I do. I like bigger, just because you'll get bigger lingcod. If you go small, you'll get smaller fish. Also what I'll do is I'll tip this top piece here with a piece of squid. Doesn't need to be a big piece. I have a bigger one right here, but it doesn't need to be big. That's going to give your whole presentation, kind of some scent. Kind of like my theory to this is here's the fish coming to eat this. Well, hey, lingcod wants this, not that. Like I said, you get that whole presentation, and then the scent. So, see it there. So what you do is you drop down and you find the bottom. Once you find the bottom, you want to stay there, but you want to jig it up and down, up and down. If you're trying to go more for the rockfish, you can leave it still a little bit more, but if you're going for the lingcod, I like to be moving it. I like to say it's a sticky bottom. What I mean by that is just a lot of snags. So touch it up, touch it up. Do not stay on it. You'll just get stuck. So I'm in about 90 feet of water right now. Looks like we do got a current going. So there's bottom. And I'll just jig it along the bottom. Going about a little over a mile per hour. Just a little fast. That's why this 6 ounce is good. 8 ounce just becomes a little hard to work with. You'll need some heavier tackle. And I feel like 4 ounce generally is too light. All right, we'll get back with the fish. Looks like 22 and a half, but it's a keeper. So it's just over 22 inches. We're gonna go ahead and keep it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm out here alone today. Just you know, little precautionary things. I have my life jacket on with my radio attached to it on channel 16. Staying close to where I launched from, Bodega head there. You know, not traveling too far. There's a little more boat traffic in this area, so if anything were to go wrong, you know, I could hopefully be seen or something like that. So, not going to my normal spots today. Just staying in close, fishing these rods. Didn't seem too big. Looked like it was undersized actually, maybe only about 20 inches or so. So I often get asked, how do I find my spot for rock fishing? I'm gonna give you a really big secret right now. Google Maps. If you're not using that, I would go to a satellite view. Let me show you what it looks like. So you see that right there? I know it's hard with the reflection, but you can see the rocks. Those hearts, that's where I have my crab pots. And then you see the little blue dot, that's where I am. Zoom in. You see I'm moving off the rocks right now. So I'm gonna get my boat, go back on there, kind of in the middle and just drift over the rocks. When you're rock fishing, you don't want to be in the sand. That's where you want your crab pots. See, so my crab pots are not on the rocks, they're on the sand. And we're gonna fish those rocks. So that's the biggest tip I can give you, is just make sure you're fishing in the right spot for the right kind of species. So remember how I mentioned that yesterday was Thanksgiving? Well, for lunch I'm eating a smoked turkey wing. Very exciting, huh? This thing's So I'm gonna do my last drift right now. Pots have been soaking a little over 2 hours. Drift for about a half hour, and we'll go pull them, give them about a 3-hour soak. All right, well, this is pot number 2, and it sure feels heavy. Or it's a bad idea to drop pots at 160 feet when you don't have a crab puller. Yeah, that's a good pot. Whew, it's a pretty crazy pull from 160 feet down. My arms are getting tired. Man, that's a good pot. that. Look at that one. That one's huge. Look at that. So that's 6.5. It's pretty much a 7.5 incher. Man, another monster. All right, well, we got 9 in the second pot. That means we got 12 on the boat with 2 pots. I'm gonna have to throw 2 back. So this is a 6 incher. Throwing that one back. Should we hit a seagull with it? It's between these two. They're identical. 6 1/4. Any, mini, miny, mo. All right, which one did you guys pick? All right, if you pick this one gets to live, you were right. So I'm checking this pot now. Something happened to it. This rope's been cut. It's all smashed in here. I pulled it out before I turned the camera on, but you can see how it's broken there. We'll have to see when I dropped it if there was any damage to it, you know. What could have caused this? All right, so last pot, we're switching out the 6 1/4 for the 6 1/2. Go shrimp and sturgeon got one, huh? All right, let's see if the seagulls can get it. All right, well, I'm back home. There's the crab. 10 beauties.